Okay, now we're in section 3.1 on parallel lines and transversals. So first, parallel lines, what are they? Well, we can have two lines, right? And the markings are these little arrows on the lines. That tells us that these lines are parallel. What if we have, and so what are parallel lines? They have the same slope, right? We haven't really talked about slope, but we're going to. And they never intersect, right? They're on the same plane and they never intersect. A line that intersects two or more lines, such as parallel lines in this case, is a transversal. Transversal. So when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, several pairs of congruent angles are formed. And congruent means what? Equal, that's right. So let's go ahead and number these angles. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so let's look at these. Which angles do you think are corresponding here? Remember that big word from the last chapter? Corresponding. They match up, right? Well, how about angle 1 and angle 3? Yeah, they're corresponding. And what do you think is unique about these corresponding angles? Let's look at another one before you answer that. Angle 8 and angle 2 are corresponding. They're congruent, right? When a transversal intersects parallel lines, corresponding angles are congruent. Again, write this down. When a transversal intersects parallel lines, corresponding angles are congruent. So which other ones do you think are corresponding? 6, and notice, and 4. Notice I am putting the number of dashes, right, to mark congruency. So 1 and 3 each have 1 mark, so they're both congruent. 2 and 8 have 2, 6 and 4 now have 3, and then 5 and 7 have 4. Because the number of marks, it lets us know which ones have congruent measurements. Okay, so let's look at an example. Let's draw our parallel lines and our transversal. Okay, if this measurement is 120 degrees, and I want you to find angle 1, 2, and 3. How do you do that? Okay, well, let's start with what we know. 120, this angle is corresponding with 1, right? So angle 1 equals 120 because they're corresponding angles, right? Corresponding angles. That's the sign for angles, okay? And, angle 3, what's unique about angle 3? What's its relationship to angle 1? It's a vertical angle, right? Remember vertical angles? They have congruent measurements. So angle 3 also equals angle 1 because they're vertical. So angle 3 equals 120 degrees. I forgot my degree mark down there. Okay, and what about angle 2? Well, where's angle 2's corresponding part? It's right here, right? This angle. Well, 120 and this angle right in here, what are they? What's their relationship? They are supplementary, right? What is supplementary again? They add up to 180 degrees. So how can we figure out this angle right here? 180 minus 120 equals 60 degrees, right? So this is 60 degrees. And angle 2 is corresponding to this 60 degree angle, so angle 2 equals 60 degrees. You could also figure it out, right? You know angle 1 is 120 from previously, and so angle 1 and 2 are supplementary, so we could figure it out that way. Or angle 3 and 2 are supplementary, so we could figure it out that way, right? So what do we notice then about angle 1 here and this angle? They also are supplementary, aren't they? Because this is 60 plus 120. So they too, you can find the measurement that way as well with those two. All right, let's look at some more unique relationships in these parallel lines and transversals. So some other characteristic angles that are formed here are interior angles. So what do you think when you think interior? What do you think of? Being inside, right? The interior of your house is the inside of your house. So interior angles are formed on the inside of the parallel lines. So we have, we'll name them 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? These are interior angles on the inside of the parallel lines. So then what do you think these ones are called? 5, 6, 7, 8. If 1, 2, 3, 4 are interior and 5, 6, 7, 8 are outside the parallel lines, what do you call the outside? Exterior angles. And all the same relationships are still in play, right? 3 and 5 are supplementary, 3 and 2 are supplementary, 1 and 2 are supplementary. Well, what do you think is significant about the relationship between 5 and 7? How about 6 and 8? These are called alternate exterior angles. Okay? We have angle 5 and angle 7, and then angle 8 and angle 6. Alternate exterior angles are congruent. Okay, so we have 6 and 8 are congruent, 5 and 7 are congruent. 7. Are 6 and 5, what's their relationship? Supplementary, right? 7 and 8, supplementary. So what about 5 and 8? Supplementary. What about 6 and 7? Supplementary, right? They add up to 180 degrees. Let's look at an example. All right, if I said that angle 5 equals 110 degrees, find angle 8 and angle 7. So I want you to find 8 and 7. Well, 5 and 7 are called what? 5 and 7? They're alternate exterior angles, right? So that would be my reasoning. That if I asked you to explain your reasoning, how you found the measurements, that would be your reasoning to say that angle 7 equals 110 degrees. And then angle 7 and angle 8 are supplementary. So that would be your reasoning to say that angle 8 equals 180 minus 110, which is angle 7, and that equals 70 degrees. So angle 8 equals 70, angle 7 equals 110. And do those add up to 180? Yes, they do. So given one angle is all you need, and you could find all 8 of those interior and exterior measurements. Now you are going to try one on your own. Okay, so use the figure here to find the measures of the numbered angles, all right? So we have our two parallel lines and then our transversal cutting across. So this is a 3. So you have this one angle measurement of 59 degrees, and now find the rest. And for each one, you need to use the vocabulary that we have of corresponding interior angles, exterior angles, alternate exterior, excuse me. And that reminds me, what is alternate interior? That would be like 5 and 2, right? Or 4 and 3. Those are alternate interior, and they too are congruent. All right, so give this a shot and bring it to class. All right, now that you've completed the practice problem, this is the list of vocabulary that you should have in your notes. So parallel lines, transversal, corresponding angles, supplementary angles, interior angles, exterior angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles. You can use your online textbook in 3.1 to look these up, or use what I have said throughout the video to define all of these. So we'll talk about them in class, and these all need to be in your notes though. All right, I will see you in class.